Welcome back to Send Crypto. In today's content, we're going to talk about BTC, and then we're going to talk about the bearish momentum, and then where do I think the price of BTC is heading to, at least for the short term. So, but before we get started, let's take a look at CoinMarketCap very shortly. Today's date is May 6, 2019, just about like midnight, right? So, the price of BTC according to CoinMarketCap is just about let's see, it is saying 58.73, but it is less than 58.73 on Binance, so it is just about I believe like 56.90 in that range, right? So yeah, it's 56.90 on Binance, right? Ethereum just about 160. Ethereum, XRP just about 29 cents, right? So I'm expecting Bitcoin Cash to drop much lower, right? So just about like $220 to $200. Litecoin, I'm expecting like $50 Litecoin sometime in next month or so, right? So keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and take a look at the price action. By the way, Bitcoin dominance is just about 56. The total volume is decreasing just about 45 billion. So we got like 58 billion like last week. So keep that in mind, at least for the short term. Total market cap just about 180 billion. So just to get it started, as you can see on the screen, we seeing like a bearish momentum, at least for the short term. We got a flat correction just about this area. So most likely we're gonna be dropping very shortly, right? So actually I was expecting this drop the last 24 hours, so I was expecting like Bitcoin to drop just about below 5,500 to the lower range of 5,400, right? So let's take a look at the triangle we had like last time, right? So we got this triangle last time, and then the price came up to this area and then broke the upper level of the the triangle. So what we expecting now, so we gotta take a look at the parallel channel. So we had this in place also. So Bitcoin is still respecting this parallel channel, even though like we broke out of the triangle. So we got two patterns playing out right now. So most likely we're gonna break the support of the upper level of this triangle. So I'm looking for Bitcoin to come back down and then retest this area of 50 MA, this yellow line on the 4-hour time frame, at least for the short term, and then bounce down to bounce around and then come back down to this area. So it is most likely going to be just about 5,400, at least for the short term. So keep that in mind. On my previous video, we talked about like Bitcoin coming back down to 5620, and then that's what we got exactly, just about this area of 5620, right? I was expecting the 50 MA on the 45 minutes to support the price, but like right after the new candle, Bitcoin like give us a fake out. So the 50 minutes like the 45 minutes moving average, the 50 MA was just about moving very fast. So we got the 100 MA supported the price. So we still got the drop and then another push to the upside. Now we are attempting to move further to the downside. So, but what I'm expecting, like I'm not expecting also like a straight move to the downside like this. This move is not going to be a nasty sell-off. So you got to keep that in mind. Like I said, whenever you get your 45 minutes time frame like oversold just like this, you're gonna get at least to this area of 60, right? So I'm expecting like Bitcoin to give us another rebound just about this area, but it is going to be like very fast. So we're gonna rebound and drop, rebound and drop. So keep that in mind, right? At least for the short term. So but whenever you get back to your if you like let's say you day trading, the best time to buy BTC is like when the 45 minutes is like completely oversold. So but we already oversold, most likely we're gonna double bottom. So just like that, we could be double bottoming just like that, and then we're gonna rebound again. So it's not gonna be a very nasty sell-off straight to the downside like to 5,500. So it could take us like 48 to 72 hours before we get to 5,400 in that range. So because let's go back to the 4-hour time frame. Let me open up the chat room very quickly. We got this channel triangle. So this one played out perfectly. You know, we broke out to the upper level of the triangle. Now we're coming back down. I mean, it is actually supporting the price, which is a good thing. So we double bottom just about this area. So, but that's the best we can get. So price most likely gonna drop. So and I'm expecting like Bitcoin to be bouncing around just like that, right? So keep that in mind. It's not gonna be a straight sell-off. So we might get there, like let's say before end of the week or next week. So I don't think like we're gonna get to I don't believe like we're gonna get to 5400, 5300 like this week. So keep that in mind, at least for the short term. And then we're gonna move on and talk about other coins at the same time, like Ethereum. And then hey, what's up Still, thank you for tuning in. And then we're going to take a look at Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and so on, right? So keep that in mind, at least for the short term. So Bitcoin next target is just about 5400, 54 to 5500. It is hard to say, but it all depends like at what time we're going to get back to this boundary. So because if we get, like, let's say we get to this boundary very fast, we could be falling like the next 4 hours. I mean, not the next 4 hours, but the next couple of days we could get like to this area just about like 53, right? So May 9th, right? So just about like in 3 days. So we could get back, we could get to that area, at least for the short term. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Ethereum very shortly. Okay, it is going to be a very short live stream. Ethereum, at least for the on the lower time frame, it is holding strong versus BTC. BTC is dropping, but Ethereum is not dropping as much as I was expecting Ethereum to drop, right? So that's a good sign, right? At least for the short term. But we broke this area of support. Making a nice divergence. We're still expecting like Ethereum to double bottom, but it is not double bottoming. So at least it is holding strong, at least for the short term. We could get another rebound while Bitcoin is dropping, and then finally get back to this area, at least for the short term, right? So keep that in mind. Let's move on to Bitcoin Cash. We're gonna take a look at Bitcoin Cash dollar value versus versus a dollar, and then versus BTC. Bitcoin Cash, we're still looking for Bitcoin Cash to be coming back down at least to this area of 0.618. If not, we're gonna after we get to this area of 0.618 from this entire move, not the entire move, but from this second move, just about this area, right, from like $100 roughly 105, we're looking for a 0.618. But I don't believe like a 0.618 gonna be holding very strong, like I said last time, right? So most people are gonna be expecting 5-wave structure, but it is not 5. So they're gonna try to attempt to count 5 waves, but it is not. It is just a 3-wave move. So it is just 3-wave. So that's 3 waves. So now it is time to be dropping to the downside. So keep that in mind, at least for the short term, right? We don't have any support on the 4-hour time frame. We're gonna be moving below these moving averages. So it is gonna look nasty, at least for the short term, right? It's not gonna look great. So especially if BTC going back down to 5400, it's not gonna look great for Bitcoin Cash, at least for the short term, right? So keep that in mind. So it is a big drop, almost like a 30% drop, what I'm expecting from Bitcoin Cash. But let's see if we're gonna get it right, at least for the short term. Let's take a look at Bitcoin Cash and versus BTC. Let's go to Binance. When you take a look at the Bitcoin Cash ABC, as we mentioned last time, right, we came back exactly at our area of support 0.618. a push to the upside. It is just a 3-wave move to the upside. We're expecting like Bitcoin Cash to drop just about this area. So that's versus BTC. So versus the dollar, we expect like a 30% drop. Versus BTC, we're expecting a that's another almost 20 just about 20% drop, 15 to 20% drop. So it is not like undoable, right? So versus BTC, so keep that in mind. So that's just about the 4-hour chart. So I'm expecting this drop, because the 0.618, we already got the the rebound we needed. So it is almost like a let's see, almost like a 20% rebound, just like Tron. If you remember, when Tron came back down to 0.618, we got a 25% rebound. So and for Bitcoin Cash, we got this like a 20% rebound. So let's look for this drop to 0.618 versus BTC, right? At least for the short term, excuse me. So let's move on to Litecoin. When you take a look at Litecoin, we're still looking for Litecoin to drop just about to points. Litecoin BTC. Let's take a look at the daily. When you take a look at Litecoin, we already got this corrective move just about this area. So I'm looking for Litecoin to drop to the downside just about let's see, because that's a nice corrective move, unless we get a fake out to the downside. But I don't believe that we're gonna get a fake out to the downside. So we got a big support just about this area of a 50% pullback. So I'm expecting like Litecoin to come back down to a 0.618, which is just about like 0.0115, right? So if you remember, like we've been talking about this 0.0115 for the longest, right? So keep that in mind. So Litecoin and Monero, right? So 0.0115. That's what we're expecting from Litecoin to rebound at, right? We already got this corrective move, so keep that in mind at least for the short term. So let's move on to Monero. It is going to be a very short live stream, so if you guys have any question to ask, so hey, what's up, Yahmoo? So you take a look at Monero. We've been targeting this 0.0115 like for the longest. Now we're getting a nice double bottom, nice divergence. But since Bitcoin is holding strong, let's see if Monero can take advantage of this double bottom and push to the upside versus BTC. So you gotta remember, it's not all altcoin, all of them not going to be dropping versus BTC. So some of them, they're going to take advantage of this BTC drop the next couple of days, and then we're going to get those 30%, 40% move to the upside for those altcoins. So we just got to be able to find those altcoins at least for the short term. So yeah, we're going to take a look at EOS next. So keep that in mind. It is a nice divergence, but the slope is kind of like too vertical. So let's see if at least for the short term, Monero can break this area of support and give us a fake out to the upside. So let's see how it is going to play out. But let's say we break this area of support without no U-turn, we could be expecting at least a big sell-off from Monero, big sell-off. So keep that in mind at least for the short term. Monero kind of looked like IOTA, so I was expecting IOTA to be able to move versus BTC, but IOTA is not moving versus BTC at least for the short term. So let's get this fake out to the upside. If we do not come back down to this area of 0.0115 and above the next like 8 to 16 hours, I would be like raising some concern at least for the short term, right? So, and you're looking at another 20% drop versus BTC at least for the short term for Monero, right? So keep that in mind. So I'm looking for this fake out. If not, we're gonna drop to the downside. Let's move on to IOTA. IOTA BTC, I was looking for this I was looking for IOTA to be able to hold strong versus BTC. It is making a nice divergence because it is making a very strong it got a strong relationship, like inverse relationship versus BTC the last couple of days, at least the last like 2 weeks. But you know, as soon as BTC started to drop, just about like the new weekly candle, IOTA started to drop faster than BTC. So but I was expecting also like something similar, you know, something like that, at least for the short term, because you know, you take a look at IOTA, kind of look like NAVCOIN and Nano, right? NAVCOIN and Nano. So but IOTA just decided to break to the downside, so I'm looking for IOTA to be able to rebound and get back up to this area. If not, you know, it is going to be very bearish, because we could be looking for another 30% drop from IOTA, because that's a clear, you know, invert, you know, it is a clear, you know, head and shoulder, right? It is a clear head and shoulder. So it is a clear head and shoulder, so you just could be anticipating another drop to the downside. So it is a very aggressive move, so I took the trade, but I'm waiting for IOTA to get back up to the upside. So it is bad time to be selling, but let's see. So if IOTA is able to get back up to the upside, we most likely, you know, gonna retest, you know, this area, so with a flat correction. So you're looking at, it is a very risky trade, right? So you're looking at this move, so, and a further drop to the downside. So keep that in mind, at least for the short term. But it is a very, very risky trade, but I'm taking it. So it is a very risky trade. It is a very risky trade. So let's go ahead and take a look at EOS. We take a look at EOS. I haven't taken a look at EOS for a while now, so, but you know, my target for EOS, let's see, we're almost at that target. Like we targeted EOS like you know, 80,000 sats. We almost at 80,000 sats. So let's see if like we're gonna get to 80,000 sats. We targeted 80,000 sats since like even like EOS was, you know, I think like that was like 2 weeks, like just like April 15, right after we got this double top. I said like EOS gonna be dropping to the downside, and then it's not gonna be a straight move right to the downside. We're gonna make this three-way move to the downside, and that's what we're making. So we got this move. Let me just remove this. We got this move, and then we got a lot of noise just about this area, and then we drop into the downside. So keep that in mind, right? So let's look for 80,000 sats. I'm not even sure like if 80,000 sats gonna be holding, because we're not completing this divergence we're looking for, and then EOS is not anywhere near this previous low on the divergence. So but let's wait for 80,000 sats rise and see how we're gonna be able to handle the price. So but 80,000 sat, I would like start accumulating EOS. It's not a financial advice, but we've been looking for this target like for the longest. So you know, for the longest, but 80,000, you know, that's the most probable. So not the most probable, because we have 80,000 and then 0.618, but we just wanted to target 80,000 first. But we almost there. We're most likely gonna get there the next 4 hours or 8 hours. So keep that in mind, right? So keep that in mind. EOS is pretty bearish. As soon as I saw these this double top, I said like I didn't know, that was like, you know, like the second week of April, I said like I'm not comfortable with the way EOS is sitting just about this area. So I said it, right? So let's take a look at Tron. So if you have any altcoin you want to talk about, let me know, at least for the short term, right? So Tron, we're looking for it is starting to look strong, right? Because if you remember, like Tron, our target was 0.618, just about like 500 sats, right? So let's take a look at it. Tron target was, you know, 500. As soon as we got to 500, we got this like a 25% move. So next target was 0.618, and 0.618 is nothing but like a 390, right, in that range. So not 0.618 but 0.786. So we got back to just about like just about like I think 393, right? So we didn't quite get there, but when you take a look at the chart, it is almost, you know, there, right? So what I'm looking for, Tron, we got a nice divergence, right? It is a great sign, right? Last time I updated Tron, we only got this move, right? If I remember well, we got this move, right? And then, you know, next time I updated, we got this move. So I said I wait for Tron to come back down, right? You know, give you a nice slope, right? So most likely we're going to make this W. It is going to be a lot of noise. All of a sudden we're going to push to the upside. That's what I said, right? So look for this move. So it is starting to turn bullish, at least for the short term, right? It is starting to turn bullish. So keep that in mind. It is starting to turn bullish. So I would be like accumulating at least Tron from now on, not heavily, you know, but I would be accumulating at least like 2 to 3%. I mean 2 to 5% at a time, right, of my buy order. From because you can get like a push to the upside at any given time right now, because Tron usually push up to the upside, push to the upside like versus BTC when BTC is going to the downside. So keep that in mind. So we could like anticipate a retest of this 0.618, which is going to be just about another 25% move. I don't have any Tron, but we could be anticipating this 25% move. But let's wait and see. It is starting to turn very bullish. Let's take a look at the lower time frame. Remove everything. ADA, we're going to talk about ADA. It is freezing. We're going to talk about ADA. Tron is the volatility has decreased a lot, so even though it has a lot of volume, BTC volume, but the volatility is not up there. So you can see like Tron look like a, you know, hollow chain, right? The 15-minute chart. So, and Tron used to be very volatile, so but it is not that volatile anymore. Let's take a look at another time frame. Yeah, the even when you take a look at the 45 minutes, it just gave us like 5-way structure. So most likely it's gonna come back down and retest this 58 minutes, so which is just about 400 sats. The current price is not much. It's like just for, you know, 404. So it could come back down below or at, you know 400 sats before a further move to the upside. So it is like at least like a starting to turn bullish again. So keep that in mind. So I'm starting to turn bullish on Tron, right? So let's take a look at ADA. Yeah, we're going to take a look at PVIX also. PVIX is, you know, down almost 60%, so from the previous top. So when you take a look at ADA, as I mentioned, right, ADA target was just about 1256, and I said like if like ADA dropped below 1256, you know, next area of target is just about 1050, right? So we almost at 1050 in that range, right? The current price is like 1135, so and most likely we're gonna get to 1050, right? So keep that in mind at least for the short term, right? So next target for ADA is about 1050. So and let's see if 1050 gonna be holding, right? Because we can get like a big move to the upside from ADA, at least for the short term. As you know, you can see like this move is too vertical, so it is too vertical, and you can get at least like a, you know, 15 to 20% move just like that. So while BTC is going to the downside, so keep that in mind, right? Keep that in mind. So when you take a look at your Fib levels, when you take a look at your Fibonacci, you got, you know, we just about like we dropped below, you know, 0.618, which was just our, you know, previous support I was looking for. We got it, but we couldn't rebound, right? So now next level is just about 1050, right? Just about 0.786. So there is no confirmation of reversal for ADA. It is very oversold, but we don't have any confirmation for reversal, so I would be like just be patient and buying slowly, not heavily. So until like the pattern like is completely making a U-turn, and then we're gonna push to the upside. But as up to now, the move is too vertical, and I've been pretty much bearish versus ADA versus BTC. I've been pretty much bearish like since like ADA was like almost like 1800 SAS. So our target was like 1897, and we got that target on the dot. So keep that in mind, right? Keep that in mind. Let's take a look at PVIX. When you take a look at PVIX is making some new lows. If you ignore this week, it is making like some new lows on Binance, right? If you just ignore these weeks, at least for the short term. So what I would do for PVIX, I would be accumulating just by this area, because you can see like PVIX never stay that long just by these areas, right? So I would be accumulating slowly, 5 to 7% at a time, because the RSI is like 14, and then if you remember when Bitcoin RSI was like 14, we got that big push to the upside. Like I think that was November. We can take a look at it, but we got that was like first week of November or so. So if you can like, if you get like an altcoin where the RSI is gonna be like 14 or 10, something like that, I would be like definitely accumulating if I believe in that coin, right? So keep that in mind. I would be accumulating PVIX and wait for like that 15 to 20% move to the upside, so at least for the short term. Let's take a look at XLM. XLM is just like it is making some new lows. So I'm starting to turn bullish on XLM, but it has to make a move versus BTC while BTC is dropping. So but for XLM right now, we don't have any pattern for a reversal pattern, so we're just gonna have to wait and see, and wait for XLM to start like moving sideways in order to get a reversal pattern. But as up to now, I would not touch XLM, at least for the short term, right? So we almost at this target. Our target was just about this area. We say like we're gonna be targeting this area, so and then we moving below this area. So I wouldn't be touching XLM until I see like some reversal pattern, at least for the short term. Even though the RSI is completely oversold, just about this area, we double bottoming. Now last time we got this big move to the upside, I said I wait for XLM to give us a reversal pattern, because this reversal pattern could like take forever. We could be getting like a we could be getting a W pattern just like that, right, before a big move to the upside. But we just don't know so far, so I would not be like messing with XLM, at least for the short term, until we get like a clear reversal pattern. So keep that in mind, right? I've been pretty much bullish on XLM when XLM was just about this area, because we had a reversal pattern. But right now we don't have any, so I would not be messing with XLM, at least for the short term, until like XLM start moving, until like XLM like start to be moving like sideways, at least for the next like couple of days or so, like the next week or so. But I wouldn't be like messing with XLM. We could be like retesting like a 1500 SAS very shortly. The current price is just about like a 1681. Unless XLM like give us a big move to the upside, a divergence, and then we call for a buy. But right now it is not time to be buying. It is not time to be buying XLM. So wait for a better support. Wait for a better support. And that's about it. If you guys don't have any coins or any mine I want to talk about, I'm just gonna call it a day. I just wanted to give a quick update about BTC. Let's go back to BTC before I finalize the live stream. You know, at the beginning of the live stream, that's what we talked about, right? So we said like BTC doesn't have any other, you know, area of support but this area, you know, upper level of this triangle on the, you know, on the daily time frame, right? So on the daily time frame, this upper level of this triangle is supporting the price. But let's say we break it, we have to go back to the lower time frame, right? So on the lower time frame, on the 4-hour time frame, we're looking for this 50, you know, this 50 MA, this 50 MA to be able to support the price, at least for the short term, right? Because, you know, I'm looking for Bitcoin to be making this move just like that, right? I'm looking for Bitcoin to be making this move. We got another pattern in the you know, in the Telegram group. So if you want to know like what we talked about, just, you know, join the Telegram group so you can get other, you know, ideas. But for, you know, just to make the live stream very short, so I'm looking for a you know 55 to 5400 BTC at least for the short term. So but the drop, you know, we said like the drop is not going to be very quick, but we got other ideas. So but it's not like I can't talk about it in currently on a live stream, so because, you know, I'm trying to make a very short live stream. But keep that in mind, at least for the short term, we could be dropping to 54 to let's see, just about this area, 54 to 55, right? So I'm looking for this boundary, right? I'm looking for this boundary just about this area, right? This blue line, between this blue line and then this yellow line. That's what I'm looking for, at least for the short term BTC to be trading at. So the next, you know, couple of days, you know, before end of the week, right? And then we're gonna get another big rebound to the upside. So keep that in mind. So let's take a look at the 45 minutes. The 45 minutes, you know, we talked about last time, right? Just about like May 4th or May 3rd, we said like a Bitcoin gonna be dropping just about like 56.20, and then we came back down to like 56 55.87, something like that, right? Another push to the upside. So, and I said like whenever you get your 45 minutes double bottom, you know, at least like retest the area of you know, oversold, you know, you're gonna get back to the upside, right? And that's what we're getting right now. So but, you know, this move gonna be very weak. You know, it is gonna be very weak. It's not like, you know, what we got just by this area or that area, you know, this double bottom. So that we're probably gonna get this double bottom, another push to the upside. But BTC is looking weak right now, and, you know, I would love to see, not would love to see, but I would love to see like the pattern you know, change a direction, at least for the short term, for a better, you know, momentum, at least for the short term, right? Get a better momentum. Because if you take a look at the weekly chart, right? If you take a look at the weekly chart, if you take a look at the weekly chart, we're looking extremely bullish, guys. So the weekly is extremely bullish, and I said it like we needed BTC to close just about like a 5500 or above, right? So the highest we close above 5500, that's a better, you know, that's a better scenario, right? So that's the best scenario basically. So, and we close just about you know, almost like 5800, right? So we could be expecting like Bitcoin to come back and retest this 50 MA, at least for the short term, right? It can rebound, you know, from this 50 MA, which is just about like 5400, a big reversal, and then next week, you know, it is going to be very bullish, or the following week. So keep that in mind. So just because we bearish on the lower time frame doesn't mean like we bearish on the bigger time frame, right? So we could be getting a pattern just like this, right? Just like that. We could be getting something just like this, just like that. That's what I'm looking for. It doesn't have to be exactly, you know, like this, but I'm looking for a big wick to the downside, you know, and to show like, you know, we got a big support from this 50 MA, because we broke it. We have to come back and retest if we're just not gonna keep moving to the upside without retesting this area, at least for the short term. It is extremely bullish. The weekly is extremely bullish, right? So it is extremely bullish. If you take a look at the Heiken Ashi, you know, it doesn't, we're not getting any sign of reversal. So I wouldn't like I wouldn't be worrying, at least for the short term, if like we come back and retest the 50 EMA. So just about 5500 to 5400, but it has to be very fast. We have to get it by Friday, and then let's say by Sunday, we're gonna get back to like a 5750 to like a 5700 before end of the week. So that's what I'm anticipating, so keep that in mind, right? So keep that in mind. But I'm extremely bullish on the on the weekly time frame, and I'm extremely bullish on the monthly time frame. But on the lower time frame, we have to retest 54 to 5500, right? It doesn't look good at all. The 4-hour time frame doesn't look good at all, so keep that in mind, at least for the short term. So at least for the short term. Hey, what's up, Strengths? Let's take a look at Verge. I think Verge, we got to our target of like a 148. I think we even below that area, XVG. Let's take a look at the daily. Verge is like basically like a we were looking for a rebound from this trend line. We didn't. I think we got a small rebound from this trend line, and then we basically like dropping to the downside. I think that's what we were anticipating. Now we just pushing to the downside. So we at some point we're gonna get some reversal pattern, but Verge is not looking good at all. It's not looking good, and it is so oversold. I wouldn't be like I would be accumulating slowly, and because we can get like a big move to the upside anytime soon. So I would be like accumulating Verge, just about this area, right? So, and look for a divergence, because we're not gonna get a V shape from this from this area for our side. We're not gonna get a V shape. So if like it was like a 45 minutes or 15 minutes, we could be anticipating a V shape, just like a Bitcoin, right? Like a couple of days ago. But on the bigger time frame, we're not gonna get a big V shape. So Verge is not that strong, and then the volume is not that big to get like a V shape pattern on the lower time frame. So keep that in mind, at least for the short term. So, but I would be accumulating at least for the short term, slowly. If you're holding, I mean, I wouldn't advise you to sell, but it's not a financial advice. So price is so oversold, and then you can see like Verge doesn't stay just by this area that long. So at any given time, we can get like a 50% move, like in a week or so, just like this. That's a 60% move, right, in like almost like 3 days. So keep that in mind. It is so oversold. I wouldn't be like getting rid of it unless like you want to buy it cheaper. So it is very oversold. So, all right, so going back to BTC, that's about it. I'm just going to leave you with this BTC USD on now. We're just gonna leave it like this, and then we're gonna talk about it. That's going to be my last video just about this month. So I'm gonna be making another live like next month. So I'm gonna be taking a break from June from May 6th to at least June 7th, right? I might be coming back June 7th or June 8th. So, but I'm gonna be very active in the Telegram group. So if you guys want to join the Telegram group, so we're gonna be making some discussion over there. So we're gonna be having some discussion over there. So keep that in mind. But that's my last pattern I'm gonna be talking about, at least for the month of May. A retest of 5400. So that's a pattern I'm gonna leave you guys with. So if you have any questions or any idea you want to discuss, just join the Telegram group, and then we're gonna talk about it, right? At least for the short term. So right, so that's about it. And thank you for watching.